Hello and welcome to the first in what will be an ongoing series on my channel of games we're just going to try out and see how they are. The first of this will be the game Sunless Sea. It's a Steam game that I've been looking at for a while. It just recently came out of open beta, early access kind of thing, and I've heard good things about it. So I'm just going to jump in with you guys and see what we can do. I sure want to start a new game? Of course we're sure. So this game is about being a steamboat captain in some sort of underground sea. I don't know too much about it outside of that, so we'll have to see what goes down. It's having a quick load. Captain's making. 3 decades ago, in the reign of Victoria, London was stolen by bats. London was stolen by bats. How many bats were there? Were they like massive bats? What? You can't just say it was stolen by bats. You have to elaborate there. I guess we'll have to figure out as we go, maybe? Anyway, now it lies a mile below the surface. It was dreadfully inconvenient for everyone. I would imagine so. Hey, mate, come over here. What? Hey, mate, some bats just came and took London and flew away with it. How you feel about that? Oh, jolly me, that's no good. No, might be inconvenient, I might say. Whew. But it opened a vast black ocean to you. Welcome to the Undersea. It's really hard to say, but, you know. Choose a past. Decide who you were and what you want to be. Let's see. Choose a past. You now lodge in a room above the blind. Where do you hang your hat in London? Very interesting. Continue. Who were you? Now you're a captain. Now you belong to the Undersea. But who were you before? A street urchin? Oh, I like being a poet. Oh, I know how Victorian poets are. Oh, a veteran of the campaign of '68. Fought in the invasion of hell. Oh, well. An ordained priest or a natural philosopher? Bonus to hearts, bonus to mirrors, iron. I don't know what any of those bonuses mean. But personally, being a well-learned natural philosopher, your peculiar theories on time, blood, and the starlight brought you down to beneath the cavern where London lies, and now they take you out to the sea. Give me some bonus on mirrors and a skill in, detection and perception. I can guess what those are. I'm going to be a natural philosopher. Your acquaintance, the plausible surgeon. He's only plausibly a surgeon. Oh, that's no good at all, is it? Oh. Will serve as ship's doctor until you find someone better. I'd hope I'd find someone better than a plausible surgeon. Meh. Okay, let's continue. Choose an ambition. What does winning mean to you? Your father's bones? Your father was lost at sea. You never knew him, but you've often dreamed of him. Find and return his remains to London for a decent burial. Fulfillment. Gather 100 tales and all you can of the sea. Or wealth. I'm a natural philosopher. That is what I am as a captain. And as a natural philosopher, whose father did not die at the sea, I can tell you that much, I have no use for wealth. Instead, I have much ambition to go see what there is in the world. Fulfillment. Gather 100 tales. continue on. Ooh, a last scrap of paperwork. Captain, Captain, an irregularity with the Harbour Master's office. They wish to know what terms of address do you prefer ashore? What do I want to be called? Citizen, my lord, my lady, captain? Sir? Well, I can't say madam. That would be quite awkward for just about everyone. More sea captains choose this than you might expect. I don't know what you're implying there, but I personally like to be referred to as my lord. Thank you very much. You will refer to me as my lord, as I am a scholar. Oh, get to choose a little portrait here. What portrait would do for such a scholarly man? Oh, look at that guy. Mustachio and the cup. Oh, look. It's the Invisible Man. Oh. No, but that mustache, look at that. Oh, it's voluptuous. It's just, ooh, it's asking to go to the Z. And what shall our name be? I believe we shall be named Benjamin Housendale. Benjamin Housendale, the mustachioed natural philosopher. Accept. Well, this has been quite a thing so far. Let's see what else we've got. That got very confusing very quickly. Didn't quite know what I was doing, but I figured it out. Okay. So, we're going to start out by going to London. And let's, I was thinking, looking at some things, we could hire some more crew. Sensible sailors are looking for a safe run to the tomb colonies, or at least a sane run to the southern archipelago. You'll need to buy drinks, spread around hiring fees. Look for daredevils. Let's go see if we can hire some people. Your tall tales find a ready audience. Scared and seasoned men and women tramp aboard and find places to sling hammocks. You gained crew 2 times. I've lost 30 echoes. Echoes are our money. I've succeeded in a hot challenge. That's not a big problem. Okay, and then we do have this. Offer passage to a tomb colonist. An emigrant will pay to be taken north to Vanderbilt. Let's do this. It's oddly difficult to die in fallen London, but when a Londoner is too tatty and wretched to live, they wrap themselves in bandages and take ship for the tomb colonies. Your crew cart these ones aboard in padded coffins. They'll sleep there until the journey is done. The tomb colonist is in your hold. Take them north to the colony of Vanderbilt and sell them there. Well, that is very strange. So, apparently, people don't die here. I mean, doesn't sound like it's a good thing that happens when they, instead of it, they get all wrapped up and sent to some terrible place to the north, apparently. So before we head out, we're just going to go down to this Mrs. Plenty's shipside provisioners, a profitable sideline for the notorious carnival entrepreneurs. And we're just going to purchase a couple fuel and some supplies, probably. I know the London is echoes. So in order to move around to have our lights on, we have to have fuel. More fuel is better. And our crew will take up supplies as we go. So let's see if we can, with these supplies and such, shove off to port. Shove off to port? No. Head out of port. and shove off to new lands to the north, where we'll bring our coffined friend. Hopefully he's not actually conscious in that coffin. I think I'm just going to ignore the screams from my hold. Don't worry, plausible surgeon. Don't worry. There's nothing to see down in the hold. Oh, look. All sorts of buildings down there. Looks like a part of London sank. And what is this? A comatose ferret? Mostly it's immobility. Occasionally it's... Oh, mostly it's immobile. Occasionally it's feral. Oh, isn't that great? Isn't that amazing? Oh, and that is a pirate ship. So... Dad! Shut up, tutorial! So I am going to try to just outrun this pirate. I'm going to toggle the lights to see if that can shove him off. We're at... Oh. Carissa's Point. Personally, I don't think the lights are going to save us. Oh, and there's some kind of crab over there. My goodness. We shove off for one moment, and we get beset by pirates. We get beset by crabs. My goodness. Well, actually, it looks like we can shove into port here. Maybe? Maybe I'm just guessing. Hoping. Or, you know... Oh my goodness, a bat swarm. Well, I'm sure a bat swarm is one of the least dangerous things we could face out here. Let's just pull about. Pull them about! Aim the cannons! Fire! No! No, fire! Fire! Taking minor hull damage from these bats. I'm not quite sure how they manage that. Ah. There we are. They're done for. A bat swarm defeated. Little leathery corpses lie scattered across your deck. The rest of the swarm vanishes into the neathy darkness. Gather up the corpses. They are succulent with stolen blood. Into the pot! Dispose of the corpses. Their mere touch leaves you shuddering. This will slightly reduce terror. Well, look at our terror thing. It's 2. It doesn't look too bad. I don't think there's much of a trouble with our terror. On the other hand, do I want to eat a bunch of bats? Oh my goodness. But look, they're so succulent and... I'm gonna do it. Those little bones are troublesome, and the flesh a little gamey, but salt them well enough and they're quite edible. Oh my goodness. So I got 1 terror for that and 1 supplies. Oh my goodness. Well, you heard it here first. We ate bats. I don't like this guy. Look at him. Auroral Megalops. What kind of name is that? We have entered a fog bank. Our gunners struggle to see our foes. Oh, that's just great. Just as we're hunting down this crab. See if we can hunt him down and shoot him. See, I just don't like this crab. I don't like him very much. Oh, now there's more bats. See if we can take these bats down. That crab seems to be slightly confused over on that rock there. Come on, gunners! Yes. Oh, he's charging us. Don't Look at that. We've got another swarm of bats. You know what? Yeah, I did not enjoy eating bats. I'm gonna say, I just push them over the edge. Their eyes are still fierce in death. Sailors sweep them overboard with brooms, careful not to touch them. That's -1 terror right there. Oh my goodness. At least I didn't eat them this time. I'm not for eating bats. Not anymore, at least. I'm a changed man. I swear. Oh. Just as it got at us. The megalops defeated. With a forlorn and wailing cry, the megalops turns on its back legs. On its back, legs neatly folded, as bluish blood gouts from its wounds, its golden glow begins to dim. Oh. So I can either dissect it for knowledge, or butcher it for supplies. Well, me being the under the scholar I am, I must know more about this creature. Cut it open. A crab full of conundrums. You set to work with your knives and acids. Acids? It's not a very precision tool. It is an indistinguished adolescent specimen of megalops, of one of the great deep sea crab species. But its eyes, normally vestigial in their troglodytic beasts, are large and rather beautiful? Kind of. Okay. Yeah, sure. That is quite a sentence, I gotta say. The golden glow is almost gone now, although sparks leap now and then to your knife. I gain 1 fragment. Interesting. And succeeded in a pages challenge. Haha. Very good. I love succeeding in challenges, even if I don't know what they are. Okay. Now that we've just shot down multiple creatures, let's turn our attention back to this port. That was exciting. Like it on this ship. Exciting. Let's just bring ourselves into port here. This place is just devastatingly terrible. What have we done? We've been out at sea for like 3 minutes and we've eaten bats, pushed bats off our deck, and dissected a terrible crab creature. Oh no. Of course, I was wondering if this would happen. You brought this decayed... Oh, so this is where they wanted to bring it. You've brought this decaying emigrant north. Now what? An absent friend. It is everything I imagined, he tells you breathlessly. But there's someone missing. Please bring her to me. A vague commission. She went off to Mangrove College. She needed to get out of London. But Vanderbright is just as safe as the college, and I'll wager she's bored of mud by now. Well, I would imagine mud's not very interesting. You can only look at it so much. I would know. I'm, after all, a scholar. Look for the shady sort in the Mangrove College, somewhere in the south of the Undersea. Very interesting. So, apparently our next job should be to head to the south. But for now, let's see what's in Vanderbright. On deck, you can hear the sound that 1,000 bandaged dead make as they shuffle and cough. Oh, that's just terrible. It's something like the world's most restless concert audience for the world's most plague-ridden cathedral. My goodness. My goodness. These are some terrible places we're going. Let's explore Vanderbright. Here they favor candlelight over gaslight. The shadows are swagged like cobwebs. The tomb colonists stand still enough to be mistaken for sculpture, until they laugh or cough. One building in there seems abandoned. A raggedy fellow. My lord, I'm a good seaman. I'm yours if you'll have me. Will you have me? I'm hungry. I'll work hard. He seems likely enough, if a little ragged and sorrowful. Take him with me? I don't have enough crew. Oh, I don't have enough money to pay his passage home. I also can't bring him because we have a full crew. So, quite sorry, no room. I knowed afore I asked, but I hoped yet. Well then, Captain, take my blessing. You'll remember me another time, mate, when you have berth space for a good sailor. What knows his way? He's laying in a bit thick with the Z's, but perhaps next time you assure him perhaps. Very good, very good. Let's just head off to the shops where... some recent news. Oh, we do have recent news, don't we? Well, even the intangible can be sold for something. Let's sell some information. Tomb colonist. Unfortunately, unlike what I expected, that didn't bring us any money. And it appears fuel and supplies are quite expensive here. So seeing not much else, although we could probably head and gather some gossip. Along the coast of the Undersea, it's remarkably hard to die. The decrepit go to the tomb, but they don't give up their ties to home or their politics. You gather a haul of complex clues enough to keep your contacts in London interested. There we go, that's what I thought. Now, we've got some savory information from Venderbite. We've talked to some crazy man about the Undersea, who just went on about his ZZZ. And currently our job is to go fetch some woman from a college. Somewhere in the south of the Undersea. So let's add it. Let's see, hunger is at 10. Oh, look. Look who we found. Oh, we missed. Let's take this guy down. Suffered just a bit of damage. We can just keep him in range. Ha! There he is, sunk. You've destroyed a pirate steam pinnace. Yes, a pirate steam pinnace. I'll let your mind wander on that one. Loot and scuttle her. She's a vile old vessel, and these Z's aren't safe. Take what you can and move on. Let's go. Ooh, lean pickings. These pinnaces don't sail far from their hidden harbors, but there's something at the back of the hold. A cache of curiosities. A stout crate. Source of sustenance, the fundamental element of cargo. Who knows what's inside? Take the crowbar, crew! A crate of supplies. Oh, that's nice. Hardtack and water, an unexpected box of nails. We got some supplies. How brilliant. Well, that's some stuff for us. Something awaits me in port. Well then. I think we're going to come to a port right about now. Just past the lower Barnet. Ooh, look at that. It's a blue ship. Home waters, sailors dawdle at the rails, watching for the lights of London. There's London, apparently carried away by bats. The Probably some of the same bats that I shot down in my voyage. I think we can turn the lights off for now. Conserve just a bit of fuel as we come into port. Oh. We are back in London safely. Perhaps we can get a bit of money for the information we got, as well as try to pick up a bit of fuel. Here we go. Stop. Returning to London. The lights of London welcome you. Collect the messages from the harbour master. All the clatter and songs at the dockside, it soothes the soul. Are there any messages for you? Let's see. What's this? Oh, someone wants to sign on. A little gift. Oh, this guy looks... Look at that. No eye, a knife. That guy looks terrifying. A very fine evening to you, Captain. My, what you might call mentor, is very fond of adventures sea captains. He'd like to offer you what you might call a dispensation, on account of he's so fond of sea captains. Behind the blind bruiser on the docks stands a dray piled high with fuels and supplies. Do make sure you have 15 points of space in your hold, or come back later. It would be embarrassing to have to leave it on the dock. Accept the dispensation. Oh, inquire further. Well, you know how these kinds of things work out. He gives you something now, and later he comes back and just wrings you dry for everything. Let's inquire further. Who is this patron? Is there a catch? An airy wave. He runs a very fine and very liberal establishment just across the river, what is much patronised by sailors and by men of wit and vinegar. Oh, no, I see. A public house. There's no obligation to speak of. My patron would hope only that you might return him kindly. I suppose that if the opportunity should arise for you to return his kindness, then do not imagine he would refuse your offer. Caution to the wind. Do I have 15 points in my hull? That would be a very good question. Let's look at the hold. Oh, we have more than enough. This is a silly thing to do, but it's his accent. His accent's got me, and the mustache. Two mustachioed men as us. Benjamin Housendale must do it. Courteous nod. Well, my patron hopes that you find these little gifts to your liking. He expects that perhaps someday you might choose to call on him at Medusa's Head. Should that day come, we'll make you very welcome and give you any safe conduct that you might require. Good evening to you. He salutes and is gone. Oh, you're a bit suspicious now. That's not the end of the world. Well now. Well, that's actually been a while for the recording. Man, this game is actually pretty interesting. Some hilarious dialogue. Lots of good mood setting. I love it, I love it, I love it. I don't know if it'll work for videos in the future, but if you want to see more, of course, I'll do more. Until then, thanks for watching, and have a good rest of your day.